Any plans to take the book to India? Have you found a publisher there? We were talking and you had mentioned Kushwant Singh has written a write-up about the book in India. Has anyone else noticed
Rupa
it?
is publishing it in April.
Okay.
So it'll be coming out in April, and I'm very, very fascinated to see what the reaction there will be. Because again, the entire time I was writing, I was very aware. I think I'm just aware of all my potential readers all the time, and I think maybe that's unusual for a writer, but I was thinking about what Indians would think of the book.
Would they be concerned? I mean,
I don't think so. I think in my mind I was...
Funny sexual situations. They're not graphic or anything like that, but...
Yeah, I don't think... I think it's more just like one knows that close family members might potentially be mortified only because, I'm 24 and I was a kid not so many years ago.
But you don't portray any of your family members in the book, right?
No, absolutely not. I'm luckily, I'm the least autobiographical writer possible, luckily. That will change also, I'm sure.
While you were in college, of course, you started working on this book, and I understand, as you said, you were also English was your minor. Were there any Western authors or Indian authors who influenced you in your writing style, or were you sort of being trained or on your own, making a conscious effort to sort of evolve your own sort of a writing style?
I don't think I was influenced very much or influenced at all by what I read for my English literature classes, because I don't really see the connection between Milton and my own writing as much as I might enjoy Milton. What I did learn, I think I learned to write academic papers, which actually is good training if you take them seriously, which I did for a while. And in terms of the actual reading, I had the fortunate experience of being able to teach an undergraduate class through a special program Stanford has on Indian literature in English.
Oh, wow.
And I'd read a lot of those books, but I actually read them a second time. So it was excellent because I was able to read, within the space of 3 weeks, I reread Naipaul, Narayan, Rushdie, 3 of my favorite authors, actually. Reread Arundhati Roy, who I like a lot.
And none of these you read 10% before, right?
No. I might have lied about it before. I don't know. And that of course was great because I really look up to those authors and I love their writing style, and especially R.K. Narayan for his humor and the way he portrays the small town is great. In terms of the Western writers, I think they had an equal weight of influence on my writing. I read, Jonathan Franzen's The Corrections is a book I like a lot. I love Jonathan Lethem. I love Ian McEwan, Cynthia Ozick, Philip Roth, Saul Bellow. I definitely feel a very deep affinity with the Jewish American writers. I would say that in many ways, maybe the emotional experiences of Indian Americans now, especially with their interesting position with respect to the mainstream, is very similar to what Jewish writers were feeling in the 60s. And to me, they might be more of my literary parents than, say, the Indian writers are.
Is your next book, which we didn't discuss really, is that going to be possibly again set in India, or is it going to also reflect on the Indian American experience here?
I don't yet have anything, I think, interesting to say about the Indian American experience. But this next book will be set entirely in India, maybe a slightly different version of India than I know. But I can see myself within the next 10 years maybe attempting a book about the experience of being an Indian in America.
So you wake up at 5:30 every morning, you write for a couple of hours,
right,
till 7:30, 8ish or something,
right,
when you have to get ready to go to do your day job, which is, I'm sure, fairly stressful also. Do you foresee a time that you would actually become a full-time writer? Would you like to become a full-time writer?
I wouldn't be a full-time writer ever, except for if I had 13 children. I think, and I had to take care of them, and sort of that would be a full-time job coupled with writing, because I find that one only has 2 or 3 hours of really good, productive writing a day. And that's something I learned the hard way. Actually, for a year and a half after I sold the book, maybe a little less than a year and a half, I was writing full-time, trying to freelance as well. And I actually found that to be a very frustrating experience because I wasn't very productive. And I found that when I'm in a more pressured situation, having a few hours a day, I do a lot better. I also really like being around people, and I miss that when I'm working at home. So it's been a very nice balance. I actually go to work and feel very energized. And I definitely want to keep staying sort of in the field of planning for a little while.
And one last question, just for the sake of your future wife. I don't know if you're dating or not. How many children do you want to have?
Wow, that's a very good question. I'm afraid I can't answer that, but I would, ballpark it at least, 7 or 8.
Really?
No.
Okay, that'd be a good
not.
family planning book. Family planning too, probably.
Yeah, but I have learned from even the small things I wrote when I was an undergraduate that your life eventually begins to imitate what you've written. So I don't know what's in store for me.
More power to your wife and you. All right, your future wife. All right, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you.